This course is coming to an end, so you have done all the hard work, and now it's time to fly by yourself, okay? So I want to talk about a couple of things just so you get to the right track for your own path, okay? And I want to show you like the mistake I've done so you don't have to do them. You just go out and start building apps. The first thing to talk about is about state management, okay? You might heard a lot of people talk about this, like you need to use this, you need to use provider, you need to use Riverpod. Let's be honest, we don't care, okay? We don't really care. Inside this course, I've talked about the value notifier, and if you release an MVP application or just a simple app, you can use this. If your job is requiring you to use the Riverpod or provider, you can learn this. It's super simple, okay? But don't waste too much time. If it's too complex and you don't like this one, try another one, and at some point you will have one that you kind of like. Stay with it, and it just doesn't really matter, okay? Don't waste too much time like learning a lot of things for nothing. Just build apps, okay? Anyway, you will be able to do pretty much everything with the value notifier like we have talked about in this course, but if you want to use state management and you just want my opinion, I think Riverpod is pretty simple. Riverpod is like the newest version of the provider, so why not use the newest version? And after this, another one which is pretty cool is called the block. I don't see it right there, but a block is pretty cool, but it's a little bit complex. So it's complex, and also you have a lot of boilerplate code. So if you don't want to go inside this route, just try with Riverpod. It's pretty simple stuff. And otherwise, just keep the simple value notifier and everything should be fine. So that's it. I just wanted to talk about this. Don't waste too much time on state management. Start building apps. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye. The next thing is about how to create an application that have multiple language. If you want English, French, and other languages, then you need to use like internationalization Flutter apps. Pretty damn hard to say this word. But anyway, you need to use this so you can find this information online and just follow the tutorial. We will not talk about it inside this course because this is like, I don't know, it's not really useful when you create your first application. So that's why. I just want to give you a little things that at least you will have in the back of your hand, at the back of your head, if you need them later inside your Flutter journey. So at least you will know that you just need to use this Flutter localization and just follow this simple tutorial, and you will be able to use English, Spanish, and other languages inside your app. How you do this? You just need to create some sort of dictionary of all the words in English and all the words in French, and then the application will define if it's currently in French or English and stuff like that. So if you need to have multiple language, you can redirect to this information. That's it. I see you in the next one. Bye. Now let's talk about Firebase, okay? If you don't know or you don't have any server in order to authenticate user or create a database or stuff like this, you can use Firebase. Firebase is pretty simple to connect with Flutter because both of them are built like by Google, so pretty simple stuff. We will not talk about this inside this course because this is a course in its own, okay? It's really a lot of things you can do with this. By example, you can authenticate your user if you want. You can create some sort of database, live database or machine learning, anything. You can create a lot of things with this. If you have your own server or you prefer your own server, keep your own server and use like HTTP requests and stuff like that. But Firebase is a good way to authenticate your user when you start. This is what I use. Very simple to do. If you want, I have some tutorial on YouTube and you can find them. So you will be able to use Firebase, authenticate user, and use a database. So that's about it. And yeah, that's about it with Firebase. If you need authenticate user and a database. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye. The next thing we want to talk about is this how to publish an application on the App Store or the Android Store, okay, the Play Store. For this, you will need to follow this little tutorial on flutter.dev. How to release application change quite often, so I cannot really do a video that will be because it will be outdated in like 3 months. It's crazy. So the only thing you have to do is go on this website, click on deployment, build and release on Android app, and build and release on iOS app. And this will tell you everything you have to do in order to publish your application. You will see this. This is a lot of pain in the ass. Just keep this in mind. It's pretty annoying to do, but once you know and once you follow the tutorial, everything should be fine. Great. So that's about it for how to publish your application. And in the next video, I want to show you a little bit how to create some sort of animation with your application. So we will talk about this in the next one. See you in the next video. Bye. Now I want to talk about animations. So if you want to learn more about animation, first thing first, you can always go on YouTube. I have a video about every single widget with Flutter. So you will find even all the animation available with Flutter, and you can pick the one you like. But I also want to show you one inside this video, just why not, right? Because it's pretty simple to use and it can make a lot of difference inside your application to make it look a lot more cooler. So what we'll do is, first we'll go inside, we'll wrap the entire column. So I will cut this and I will use the animated crossfade. So this animation will animate a transition between two widgets. And in order to change widget, we will need to have some sort of button to trigger this animation. So the first child is just what the application will display if the value is true. And if it's false, then it will display another widget. So the first widget we will paste is what we had previously, the column. And the second child, what we'll do is I will just put a center widget, and inside a child, and inside I will say image.asset, and I will use the path of the image. We think it was asset slash image slash, I think it was background.jpg. And yeah. So the crossfade state, if you go over, you will see that you need to use a crossfade state widget. I will say crossfade state dot show first for now. Okay, we will modify this later. After this, the duration, if you go over, you need to use a duration widget. So you say duration, and the duration will be in millisecond, and it will be 300 milliseconds. It's a good number for animations usually. So if I save, you see that we still have the first widget, which is the column. But now we need to change this for the second widget, show second. Now you have seen the little animation. If I do it again and put the first and save, you see how you have some sort of animation, okay? This doesn't look that much great, but if you have two widgets that look alike, by example, if you have another center widget, which I will show you, I will delete this, the column, I will paste the center widget, and I will use the other image, which was icon.png, if I remember. And no, it was not that. So let's go inside asset, image, it was logo.png. Logo.png and save. Now you have this, and now let's change for show second and save. You see the little animation, the transition, this is what I mean. So we will change this for 500. And in order to use it, what you will need to do is, first thing first, I will put back the padding, the column. And I will change this for 1000, so it will be very slow. What you need to do is to create some sort of buttons that when you press on it, it changes. So you will go, for example, in the app bar. In the app bar, you should have an argument called actions, and actions is just right there, all the buttons right there. I will use an icon button, and this one will have a function empty for now, and an icon which have icons dot let's say switch access shortcut. It doesn't really matter for now. I just want to show you how to use the animation. So this will use I don't think we need to use a set state for the animation. Let's try it without first. We will say we'll create a variable. So we will say right there or right there. Boolean is first is equal to true, and then we can change this value inside the icon button. We can say is first is equal to the invert of isFirst. And that's it. So now when we press on this, we should see the animation, and it doesn't work. So I will refresh the app, click get started, next, register, click on it, and let's try again. You see that this doesn't work. So I think, and the reason is we don't even use this information inside the crossfade state. We need to use this. We need to say if it's first, then crossfade state dot show first. Otherwise, if it's not first, then we'll say crossfade state dot show second. And now it should work. So every time you press the button, now it should translate and convert into the other one. So let me just hot reload and do it again. And now it doesn't work because we don't use the set state. So yes, we need to use the set state. I will say set state and put this information inside. And now let's save. I will just hot reload and try it again. And now you see that it is now working. We have some sort of animation. It's not the best animation you will see in the world, but at least you know how to use them. And if you want more animation, I have a video that explains every single animation on YouTube. So you can go there and look at it. So that's about it, and I see you in the next video. Bye. First thing first, I want to personally congratulate you because you have finished the course. Not a lot of people finish things, and you are one of them, which is one of the best quality you can have. I've heard once, lazy people don't start. After this, it was loser don't finish. And at least you know you are not a loser because you have finished. That's great. And third, legend never stops. And this has a big impact in my life, so hopefully it has with you also. But yeah, congratulations for finishing this course. Not a lot of people do this. After this, I want to show you a little bit what we have done inside this course, so you can look back and see, oh damn, that's the big picture. We have learned all of this, and now I'm able to build application with Flutter by myself. Because with all this structure, with all this framework, you are able now to build application by yourself. You have all the tools available. Okay, let's talk about them. We have talked a little bit about the key concept, like a widget inside a widget, stuff like this. A widget is a capital letter, and our argument is a small letter, and stuff like this. We have talked about the basic layout, like all the basic widget, column, row, container, sized box, and stuff like this. Okay. After this, we went into master layout, more like the scaffold, the material app, and stuff like this. If you understand what I'm talking about right now, it's because you understand Flutter. Okay, you have learned things that you didn't know before, and that's great. Next, the two-step formula to debug, to fix your bug. That was pretty simple. The stateful, stateless widget, if you want to refresh the screen or not. The user input, how the user can interact with the application, buttons, text field, and yeah, things like that, gesture detector. Next, we have talked about basic routing, so how to navigate inside your application. So I think this should be right there instead, navigator, and this should be right there. Yeah, my mistake. So let's save. And after this, we have talked about clean UI. So how to create an application that look a little bit better. For example, you could use the widget clip or rect, or you can use the, for example, circle avatar, stuff like this. Just widget that are not the layout, but make the application look good. And next, we went into package management. So how to use package in your application to create something better. For example, I think it was which package have we talked about? If we go inside the popspec.yelm, we have talked about the Lottie package, how to add animations, visual animations, which is pretty cool. Shared preference, how to save data locally on your phone. This is super important to know, so we have talked about this. And how to add the Flutter launcher icon, HTTP. But there are so many dependencies or packages that you can use inside Flutter. We have just talked about the most important ones. So let's go back inside our little thing. It's not inside this. It's inside the other internet. After this, we have talked about the responsive UI. So how to create an application that is responsive, either for an iPad or a Mac or anything. That's pretty cool. And for this, you use usually the layout builder and stuff like this. Next, we went into networking in the previous module. And networking was the HTTP request, how to get the data from an API. And with this, you can build any application. You have all the tools to build any application. You can get the data from the internet. You can get the data from a server. You can create an authentication with Firebase. We haven't talked about Firebase yet, but later inside this video, I will show you the step you need to take if you want to go this route. It's up to you. But with the networking, you are able to do everything with the internet. And if you merge this with with package management, which we were using the shared preference, if you merge this with this, you can save the data into the phone also. So this is really powerful. And now, right now, we are inside this module. Are you ready to fly high? Which is just like the next step you can take in order to make your journey even like bigger. So that's about it. With this, you are now able to build your mobile app, which is really great. So if you want to go to the Firebase route, it's up to you. If you have another server that you prefer to authenticate user and have a database, use your own. Okay, I will not force you. I will not force you to do anything. Okay, so I've started with Firebase. I think it's pretty simple when you start, and I think it's cool. So what you will need to learn is how to set up Firebase, how to authenticate your user, how to create a database, and how to create a real-time database and data management. Okay, by example, how do you manage the fact that you receive the data from the internet, and how do you save this on the phone, and how, when you start the application, where do you get your information about? Do you get it from the internet first or in the phone? So many questions that we can answer maybe inside another course about Firebase. I'm not sure if I will do this course anytime soon or anytime in the life, because anyway, that's about it. So again, big congratulations for you. You have finished a course, and that's great. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking this course. Thank you for taking the time to learn Flutter and to learn with this course. You could have learned with any course, and you choose this one. And my English is terrible. I won't lie, my English is terrible, and you have still take this course. Hopefully, it's because it's simple to understand, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. Thank you for taking the time to learn everything and taking this course, and congratulations. See you on another video, maybe on YouTube, or see you somewhere else. You can always send me a message pretty much everywhere online, and I should be able to answer you. Thank you very much. Bye.